despite practicing yoga for over 20 years, probably most of us who've practiced for a long time, we practice to get better at living our lives rather than practicing always to get better at doing yoga. In yoga tradition, there's a lot talked about and written about the seeds and the roots of suffering being grasping and wanting more, as opposed to aversion and wanting less. So this kind of duality between, you know, I love this and I hate this, and I'm seeking this and I want to get rid of that, yeah? And they are letting us know that through the movement practice, we might be able to be more accepting of our likes and dislikes. We may be able to find more equanimity, and that the seeds and roots of contentment are being with whatever is happening just as it is. So literally being able to go with the flow, be more flexible, be more adaptable to what we face in the coming weeks, months, whatever, and years. So let's today sow the seeds of good movement so that we reap the rewards in our body, mind, breath, emotions, today, tomorrow, and through the week ahead. So begin now to enter your breath, and you are comfortably aligned in your seat, and start to roll your pelvis, tucking your tail under as you bring the chin to the chest. And as you breathe in, finding a wave-like motion, extending the spine and possibly involving quite a large or medium movement of the head and neck. So really, this is a seated cat-cow move to begin with. So let yourself absorb the movement into the flow of breath, rather than necessarily trying always to move in a very perfect way, really entering your ability to be guided by some vital breaths in and long and deep breath out. I think it's really helpful to also connect the movement of your upper spine, shoulders, crown, back of neck, so that everything is a kind of seamless chain of flowing. And then on the next in-breath, creating a powerful in-breath and a powerful out-breath if you can. Rise up, breathing in. Maybe you breathe in to the length of the movement. The movement follows the length of the breath, I mean. And fully pause at the top. And then as you exhale, reach into diver arms and exhale boldly. Now you may want to sit and then release your seat differently, or try that again. So a long inhale as you breathe in to fullness. Expand and pause, and then maybe a little more vigorous like this. Ha! So like a powerful, explosive H-A-A-A sound. Let's go a little faster if we can. Maybe one more. And And then perhaps choose to change your seat. And maybe bring a palm onto the chest and or the belly. And we're going to practice a few rounds of Kapalabhati, the skull shining or pumping breath. Just a reminder that your inhalation is as long and smooth as possible. You might want to flare the nostrils. And the out breath is a series of short pumping. It's almost like you're sniffing outwards. You might aim for perhaps 10 pumps, and then a long inhale, exhale, and a second round of Kapalabhati. Your belly muscles draw back as the forced pumping exhales leave your body. Just try to keep a lovely sense of upright energy in your seat. If you're not finding 10 pumps this morning, it's okay. If you're finding more, it's also okay. It's not uncommon to actually need a tissue after using 3 or 4 rounds of Kapalabhati, but you might even after that short reminder practice discover that you are a little different in the nose, in the face, and even in your throat and chest. So it's a practice to kind of open up the energetic pathways of the body. And I do have handouts on Kapalabhati, Pranayama, so if you have forgotten really the practice there, I can send that to you, but you'll find quite a lot of resources online, of course. Ease out now from that seat and bring yourself into child's pose. And lengthen the arms forward. And remember to make sure throughout your flowing that your knees are safe at all times and you have enough padding under the knees, or you moderate any poses that require you to. So on your breath in, lengthen the fingers from the armpits and really feel that extended stretch. On the breath out, coming forward into a swaying child's pose, pulling that belly in. So try not to let that pelvis just sag. And a deep exhale. Again, you could use a sounded out breath if you wish. And then we're going to speed up. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And releasing your swaying cat. Again, come to high kneeling if that's appropriate. Fingertips onto the shoulders. Fast circling of the shoulders, backwards and forwards. Maybe again. And then rapid twisting. And of course, to avoid dizziness, and just to really feel that lovely warming up and nourishing through shoulders, ribs, back and pelvis. We're keeping the face kind of gently gazing forward. Arms are quite loose with the elbows. And that may well be enough. Just allow yourself to experience the effects. Come back to centered sitting and re-entering your child's pose. And then spread the palms evenly, curl your toes and lift into a bent knee dog. Walk your feet mindfully towards the top of the mat or towards your arms. Nice soft ragdoll. Deep exhale. And then draw the belly in. Unravel to stand. And roll out your shoulders. I'm going to take a couple of rounds of regular Bihasana salutation and then move into a vinyasa flow of a different type. So being ready in your mountain and allowing receptivity. So receiving your practice now, receiving the room as you stand, connecting through the feet. Breathe in, arms circle, and lift up, the heart shining to the sky. Exhale, fold, easy or strong. Right leg back, right knee down, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhaling, down face dog. And on this one, we're going to come into knees, chest, chin. So just a reminder, if you kind of almost come forward as if plank, that brings your knees a little bit further forward. And then obviously the knees squeeze through. Squeeze your ankles, tops of feet together. Elbows hug to the side ribs. Chest and chin come down, top of feet down. So it's a really lovely little snaky style pose. Sliding into cobra. Exhale, down face dog. And then creep your right foot, heel up to the sky. Little twist in the pelvis. Bending the right knee, dog hip opener. Right foot forward, left knee down. Crescent lunge, inhale. Spread out through the arms. You can go wide. You can have cactus arms if that feels better for the chest opening. And step to front of mat, exhale. Fold, hollow that belly, fold a little further. And rise up. Shining the heart to the sun. Palms to the heart. Circle, inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, or a softer fold, crown down, look through the legs. Left leg back, left knee down. And Janyasana, breathe. Down face dog, bent knees or firming legs. Squeeze feet, heels, ankles together. Knees, chest, chin. Bhujangasana, the cobra. Wave that spine through, almost to child's pose, and then second down face dog. Curl the left heel, foot, knee up, and a little pivot spiral. So we're using this moment for hip extension. Left foot forward, right knee down, and swing those arms up. Your style. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise. Pranayama. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Crown down. Right leg back. Breathe in, crescent lunge. Exhale, dog. A little faster now, knees, chest, chin. And breathe in, cobra. Exhale, dog. Right leg up to sky, maybe dog splits, or keep going with the hip opener dog. Right foot forward, left knee down. Crescent lunge. Exhale, step forward, top of mat. Inhale, rise. Going through to your second side immediately. Exhale, fold. Left leg back. Floating through the moves as best you can. Knees, chest, chin. Second down dog, left leg peels away. Dog splits, or your version. Step into your Anjali-asana. Remember, you can always lift that pelvis a little bit higher. And that changes how the pose feels. Fold at the top of the mat, exhale. And rising. Pranayama. So you already maybe feel a little bit there, your heart rate has changed. So we're going to start this one now with a classical Parsva-Tadasana, that's a mountain side bend. Gather your breath, standing well into a level pelvis and a grounded, upright, beautiful mountain. Peak of that mountain, of course, the crown. Sweep the arms round and catch the right wrist with your left hand. And as you draw the shoulder blade up, so really important that you have this movement in your scapulae to help shoulder flexion. In an ideal world, those upper arms are kind of beside the ears. We've got a little bit of a head sandwich. And if you want to and can lengthen the bones, find that you do so. And pull without strain the body into your side bending mountain, pausing here. Maybe you feel all of the weight pass down that left leg. And at the same time, have some sense of energetic tone through the front of that body. Through the sides there. Left side is contracting now, the left armpit down to the hip as you release the arm. And come back. Feel the impact of your breathing, your vital connection to the energy within. Sweep the arms up, catch the left wrist with your right palm. Make sure that your head and neck is in a relaxed, neutral position. And then making your adjustments, but pressing through the feet evenly. Try not to lock the knees back so that you push into hyperextension. We've not got a bent knee, but just let them be softer. Start to guide yourself into pose so that you grow into the pose through the next breath or two. And especially avoid rotation on that pelvis. Feel the weight bear through the feet. And then release your right arm and get a feel of a squeeze between the right armpit and the hip. So if this hand was on the mat, I'd be thinking about some of the energetic qualities needed for side plank, which is coming up in a minute. And then release back to center. Maybe take a little roll. We can move back into that similar position for Tiriaka Tadasana. So slide the fingers lacing together light or strongly. Turn the knuckles away, come up. You can of course choose this option instead. So really drawing. I love this because when you pull those elbows back, you can maybe really feel that space coming across that upper back, but of course progress and develop into your long arm position as you might require. And then just a little faster, moving left, moving right. Relax the face, breathe well. Move in a little deeper or less deep. And then unlace at the center now. Sweep the arms behind, lace fingers behind your body, squeeze scapulae together and stand tall, open, level chin. Roll the shoulders down the back. Open the chest, and it is again a choice. You might want to soften the knees or even bend them quite significantly and find a standing back bend here. If you are practicing that, I would always advise to just gaze into the heart first and try not to just lead with the eyes, and certainly don't let your head fling back. So let's complete that now. Bring the palms to the heart center, spread out through the feet. Breathe in, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale. Easy Uttanasana or ragdoll, or lace fingers again and fold with the lovely shoulder opening pose. Shake out the crown. Fingers, thumbs and forefingers meeting in affirmation mudra, if that feels good for you. And then release palms to mat. Step back to plank. Spread out through your hands, thumbs, root through the palmar fascia of the hand, really strongly, and squeeze the legs together. Take the right hand, half a hand forward, pivot onto the right outer edge of the foot, and see if you can stack the left on top. And take the left hand to the ear of the left ear, or maybe the top of the skull or behind the head. Push the earth away, and then as you fold the left knee, balance here, and see if you can bring your left elbow to your left knee, and then push away and balance. Can you bring left elbow, little twist and squeeze towards the left knee, and then either restack into your side plank or push the leg away. Couple more. And then open the heart. Take that left side of the chest back a little. Another option now, take the left foot in front, press up those hips, or, so this left arm can stay where it is or reach away, or take the left foot onto the leg, Vrikshasana side plank. So it's tree side plank, a little bit of a challenge in the strength of that supporting arm. And then fold forward, pivot the hips, push the earth away, bring your knee into the chest. So it's a little bit like a down dog, with that left knee now coming into the chest. And then step the left foot forward. Rise up to your first warrior. Left knee above the left ankle, and extend the arms. Remembering your back foot, the right back foot can be very grounded, anchored, or you can lift the heel away and feel a little bit more centered through the pelvis and the inner thighs. So I've just done that myself now, just pulled that back ankle away, pulled that back heel away, and come back to pose. Breathing deeply through the heart center. So with the left leg in front, and now bring the palms facing down and sweep, squeeze the left arm over the right for eagle. Deep focus and concentration here. And then as you turn the right heel in and down again, if you were on that high heel, inhale as you exhale, squeeze the arm bones together and fold forward. At this point, really make sure that in the fold or in this kind of lunge position, your left knee is towards the little toe side of your foot and is not drifting inwards. Restand. Come onto your left leg. And as you cross the right over the left, you may also want to lace behind the lower leg. Steadiness in Garudasana balance. And also a couple of breaths, restand. Bring the right knee towards your hip chest. Push the right leg forward. Hold steady. Best you can. And then bring the foot beside the other foot. Sweep those arms open and spread out the chest. Arms to the heart. Turn to the top of your practice mat. Inhale, salute the sun again. Arc back, lift the rib cages away from the hips. Pause to receive. Exhale, Uttanasana, or again, choose to lace the fingers behind the back, pulling the shoulders away. You can bend the knees more or less. Shake out the hair, the head, let those arms be where they can be. And if it's better for you today, of course, to have the fingertips on the mat and to practice a little more of the elongation of the legs, then maybe you let go of the arm pose and you find your standing forward fold poses. Stepping back to plank, pausing to find your strong center. Bones are stacking well and the hips are in line with your armpits. And then take the left hand out to the left and pivot onto the outer blade of the left foot, stacking the right foot on top, or of course a scissor position if better for you. And then we take the right hand onto the shoulder or the skull or the back of the head. Open up the chest. And then can you bring your right elbow towards your right knee and balance and lengthen away. Concentrate, bring the right elbow towards the right knee and press away. You can then restack, keep practicing. Your right arm may want to reach overhead. And then find the tree side plank as well, if you wish. Shoulder blades drawing into the back as you then twist, pivot, push the earth away. You're on two palms and one left foot. And then scoot the right knee into your heart chest, grounding. It's a little bit like down face dog, knee to chest. Please step your right foot forward and rise up to first warrior. And really it's your choice as to whether, again, you lift that back heel and have that sense of the pelvis just a little bit more centered with shoulders stacked above the hips. It's also another good practice to bring the gaze up to the sky if you look to the thumbs, but obviously only if your neck feels comfortable with that this morning. Fold the right arm over the left for eagle, and center yourself, center the gaze, gaze to the thumbs. And then turn the left foot in and down. Sometimes it's worth just pausing to adjust so that your lunge stance is a little wider. Remember that right knee is above the right ankle, so it's kind of in between warrior one and warrior two legs. Lengthen and fold. Hold steady, relax the face. Really prioritize a smooth, easeful breath. And then rise to stand. Step forward seamlessly to wrap the left leg over your right. Or even double bind. Calm and relaxed as you can. Focus. And then restand. Bend the left knee, stay here. Or flex the ankle and push your leg forward. You might even find you can raise it high, or perhaps it has to go lower. Really unite the power and strength in those legs. And then release to stand. Open out. Moment to absorb your practice. Standing Vrikshasana now. So from your mountain or your Samasthiti, take your gaze into the distance. Grounded through your left leg. Of course, you might choose to bring your right heel into the perineum or any position that feels good for you. And then again, we're going to side bend. So take the right wrist. So I've got my right knee moving out as best as possible into external rotation. Little note about knees. They are the prisoner of the hip and the ankle. So the external rotation must come from your hip and not your knee. So even if your foot is way down here today, that's fine. Can you feel able to really open out from that right hip? So if I pull my heel to my perineum, I've got this very deep flexion on my knee. I know for some of you, you don't always want to find that, so moderate is necessary. So here we go. Holding onto the right wrist. Can you gently or powerfully pull your body away from that hip? And of course, can you land gracefully? You might be managing to stay in that pose a little longer than my demo. So breathe and feel. Prepare breath, body, mind. Second side, grounded through the right leg. Find your expression of this externally rotated left hip. Standing well. So therefore we're going to take hold of the left wrist and then see if you can pull yourself over to a little bit of a side bend, pulling away from the hip. Now I've got a wall here, so if I did this, I could really side bend a lot more. And you might want to use your prop, your wall, your chair, your desk. Otherwise, stay in the balance. I know it's just a small challenge, but poses that we're really familiar with, gracefully exiting when you're ready, can become fresh when we adapt to different ways. So let's come back to the top of the practice mat, please. And breathe in, sun salutation, open, upright salute. And exhale, halfway. So strong table back or a back bend, firming the legs, lifting the kneecaps to the hips, and lengthening through the crown. Inhale, exhale, and fold into your Uttanasana or your ragdoll. Step back to down face dog. You can bend your knees, of course. You might feel comfortable to root through the extended length of your feet, and then sway to the left and sway your hips to the right. This can be quite strongly swaying. You can turn your feet to one side, turn the feet to one side, and then center. And again, choose to bend the knees or pedal the legs according to how your body feels this morning. Then looking at the arms, and they are classically shoulder wide here now, bring the right elbow down, bring your left elbow down, and then lace them together. So moving into dolphin, and then bring your knees down. You don't necessarily need to bring the knees down, but I'd like you to maybe walk towards the top of your mat. So the knuckles of the closed laced palms and fingers are at the top of the mat. And then reach back into low elbow plank for core strength and focus. So balance out your effort with your ease here. Inhale, exhale, and then lift your hips. You might have to walk your feet in and sweep your right leg up to the sky. Reach back to your low forearm plank. Remember to stack the shoulders above the elbows, or just make sure by swaying that you're in exactly the right position for you. Long back neck. And then maybe you step in a little, lift your hips, sweep your left leg up to the sky, push the earth away. Treat this as if a balance. And then walk back into your elbow low plank. Breathe. And then place hands on the shoulders, press up, lift back to your down face dog. Inhale, exhale, transition to plank, and then knees down lowering or chaturanga dandasana, pose of cobra, and into child's pose. In child's pose, remain comfortably relaxing and breathing for a breath or two, or relace your fingers behind the back, opening up the chest and folding again. So trying to maintain your lovely flexibility on the shoulders. One more round of breath here, and then re-enter your down face dog. Sweep your right leg up to sky in your dog splits and relax the head, relax the crown, relax the face. Right foot forward, left knee down. Crescent lunge. And then try to twist to the left. Try to side bend to the left. So can you bring your left hand down to the earth or a block so pelvis gets a little lower, and reach your right arm overhead. Do not carry your knee with you. Press your knee away. And then bring the right hand down. Can you reach your left foot, your left arm? And just if it's okay to do so, roll the hips and chest back, and open the heart. Frame the foot, step into pyramid. Firm your legs as you lengthen your chest forward. And with the right hand on the foot or the right fingertips on the mat, twist and open your left side. Couple of breath here. And then sweep down. Step back to down dog. Just have a little pedal. And sweep the left leg, float, extend, reach, with the toes. Breathe. Left foot forward, right knee down, crescent lunge. And then see if you can just really get into that depth of the hips and pelvis. You're going to take the right hand to the side, or the earth, or the brick, and lean over to your right. As you side bend here, keep an awareness, please, into that alignment of the left knee above the ankle. Breathe and feel. And then frame your left foot. Curl the back toes. Frame your left foot. Bend your back knee. And maybe bring the left hand on the inside. And as you turn, can you find the right foot softly with your right arm hand and open the chest? It's really important in this version of the pose that obviously your kneecap isn't deeply, deeply pressing into the earth. And I've got several mats here today, but please take a moment to leave the pose and readjust if you haven't used this one for a while. And I must say, in my demo, I'm just going in very lightly, just finding that space over the front of the chest. And then frame your foot, curl the back toes, lift your hips. You're hopping in a little to a shorter stance for a pyramid. Draw the sternum forward, lengthen the side bodies. Left hand on the inside or outside of your foot. You might, of course, want to bend your knee. And then pivot the chest, twist your hips, not your knees. And maybe look up to slowly, up to that thumb. Engage easeful breath. And release. And down face dog. And then slide your right knee shin forward for pigeon. And please know that there are so many moderations for pigeon, but one of the best ones is to have both your knee, shin, and hip elevated. Now, most commonly in yoga class, we just have our one block, and we might put the block under the right hip buttock. We are not going to stay in this pigeon for long. So if pigeon isn't for your body today or for your hip or knee, remember the clue here is to be able to externally rotate your right hip without any damage landing in your knee. Upright pose of pigeon, and then sweep your left leg across to find Ardha Matsyendrasana, hugging the left leg with the right arm, twist to the left. Maybe look down. And then sweep your leg back. And can you re-enter pigeon? Know that forearms down, prone positions are also possible. And maybe the one that you like, you might even want to fold over the front pigeon leg if you're using pigeon. Curl the back toes, lift up, pedal out, straighten out those legs or lengthen through. Left knee shin forward, soft pigeon. Or you might choose to sit or use a different posture at this point. We're going to keep the front foot soft and just encourage the body to be upright. If you're quite well balanced through the hips, you might even be able to take both arms away. But use that block again under the left hip, or ideally a block under the hip, a block under the knee might be right for you. Calm, easy breath. And then sweep your right leg across the left. Half-forward fishes pose. And then wrap yourself into twist. Turning to the right. Right shoulder draws back. Hug the leg in, look over the right shoulder. I am mindful of the time, but as we unravel, as you unravel from your fishes, half-forward fishes twist, can you find Baddha Konasana? And you might want to grab the block, be sitting towards the edge of your block, or if like me, you're quite lucky, you have a kind of plain wall behind you nearby, you might want to take your back to a wall or back of a sofa, and then it just might allow you to enter Baddha Konasana, the butterfly pose, in a more supportive way. So, as you have found your closing seat, my suggestion is fanning those legs apart, opening the feet like a book. And of course, if you don't have a wall, you might want to bring the hands behind you and just have a little moment of rocking. But it's your practice, not mine. It's your Saturday morning. So lie down in Supta Baddha Konasana if that is more appealing to you at this moment. And especially if you feel very ready to become grounded. So let's have maybe another 3 breath cycles here, sitting, or you have already chosen to lie down. Close your eyes if it's appropriate and begin to allow a greater level of receptivity. Let go of all the flow and movement that you just embraced, and instead come closely towards the flow of your breath. Please allow that breath flow to bring yourself to a natural, even rhythm. In the beginning, when we stop and pause and we sit to breathe and breath awareness, we might find that the breath is long on the out, short on the in, or vice versa. Or we might find one breath suddenly becomes very powerful, and another couple of breaths are short and shallow. So just really accepting what you find. It might be a good idea for everybody to transition down into Supta Baddha Konasana now. So you might already be there, but if you're not, how does it feel for you this morning? I would say particularly bring some awareness as well as your breath into that lumbar back. And if it's very arched, then just lift the bum, sort of lengthen that tailbone away, and then re-establish this beautiful hip opening movement here. Of course, lying butterfly pose lends itself well to cushioning on the outside thighs. But we're not going to stay here forever, so if you are just allowing another moment in your butterfly, deep exhale, and then draw both legs in one at a time, catching the outer edge of the foot on the left and the right, just moving towards happy baby. Again, this is so beautiful for closing practice, allowing a massage through the back as you rock to the left and rock to the right. And then bring the knees together. Exhaling, supine curl. And then slide feet to mat, or of course slide your legs into full Shavasana, your choice. And then place one palm onto your belly and soften the belly. And whatever temperature you have in your room, that palm on your belly will obviously feel delicious and warm. So again, allow receptivity. Sometimes in our lives, when we encounter problems or challenges, we think we have to strive more or try harder. So let go of trying hard to belly breathe or to breathe with smoothness and peace. And instead, allow a deeper level of observation. Breathe and feel. If we have a struggle or a difficulty or challenge in our lives, it can be very useful to sit with the confusion, to sit with the ideas, to sit with the physical stress or the emotional frustration, and then observe your breath. Because again, if you are anytime in stress, your breath will be shorter, shallower, maybe more rapid and scattered. Now, in your Shavasana, as your breath starts to find its even rhythm, let yourself melt shoulders down, widen and spread the shoulder blades. You might even want to explore a little sense of tucking the shoulders under or drawing them towards your midline. And if you don't want to keep that palm on your belly, just shake out your arms, hands, fingers, wrists, and let your arms flow loosely from a relaxed throat, neck, and chest. In yoga, our act of going deeper, it doesn't mean that we're going harder or going further or going into more advanced practice necessarily, or more fandangled poses. The act of going deeper is to integrate mind, body, breath on a more subtle level through observation and receptivity. Acknowledging this next inhale and exhale as you open your eyes. And choose to mindfully release from your Shavasana or your supine pose. You might, of course, want to take a full body stretch just to come out of that short closing lying down. In a moment, join me back in sitting. And I'm just going to finish today's class with the dedication of merit. And it says, may the merit of your practice serve to nourish the seeds and roots of happiness and contentment. And may the merit of your practice serve to dissolve the seeds and roots of suffering. I hope you have a really, really wonderful Saturday, wonderful weekend, and a great week ahead. And thank you so much for being here.